Live to tape from Hollywood, California, it's Sean's Sports Show. And now for tonight's starting lineup. At guest, hailing from Chapel Hill, it's stand-up comedian Aaron Lennox. Coaching the show tonight, it's Coach T. I'm Chicago's favorite sidekick, John Huck. And now please, give it up for Bethlehem, Pennsylvania's own, the host of Sean's Sports Show, Sean Green.
Welcome everyone to Sean's Sports Show. I'm your host, Sean Green. I know what you're thinking. First off, what the hell is Sean's Sports Show? Well, imagine the Tonight Show with Jay Leno, but instead of being passionate about denim, I'm passionate about the Philadelphia Eagles. I've had people come up to me and they go, oh, the pain, the agony, the decades of losing, never getting the Super Bowl, the anger towards Santa Claus. Why'd you choose to be an Eagles fan? I didn't choose to be an Eagles fan. This was chosen for me. That's like asking someone like, oh my God, why'd you have a hereditary disease like emphysema? You don't choose that. It just happens to you and you try and deal with it one day at a time. I was basically brainwashed into being an Eagles fan. My dad, just every day growing up, dressed me up in Eagles gear, took me to a bar at a way too young age to let me watch the Eagles. My dad would even allow me to curse as long as I directed it at a member of the Dallas Cowboys. I'd be walking around the house going, fuck, Troy Aikman. That's my son. And it's just the way I bond with my dad, with my family. I mean, I remember when they carted off Michael Irvin. That was the last time I've actually hugged my dad. No more pain. He's not going to beat us anymore. And it's just a cycle that never ends. Every year, this is the year. I tell myself, I'm kind of like a battered wife. I'm like, no, they're going to change. This year's going to be different, I swear. And then every year, I fall for it. Training camps here, I'm buying in. I'm reading about fifth-round picks that are going to make a difference. And then disappointment hits, right? I know the season is officially over because I'll send out a group text between my mom, my sister, and my girlfriend where I proudly pronounce, no Eagles shit for Christmas. But the Eagles are coming off a big year. Not only did they draft franchise quarterback Carson Wentz, they also set another milestone, and that this is the first time in Eagles history, first time ever, where a player missed 2 games because of anxiety. You think you have anxiety? Try watching the games, man. You're out there getting exercise, getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. I have to process all my angst by just getting drunk and eating way too much food and getting angry. What I'm saying is, get a vice and process your emotions, okay? We can't miss games. Oh, man. Speaking of games, there's going to be a couple Eagles games out here in Los Angeles. For some reason, Los Angeles got 2 football teams. I've been out here the past decade asking bartenders to put the game on to just bewildered expressions like, oh, what's ESPN 206? I know all the cable channel ESPN codes. I'm just rattling them off. I'm like, hit the input, you idiot, come on. What's the game, man? Some reason LA has 2 franchises now, and my family's coming out. They decide to fly out. They're bringing the whole smorgasbord here out to Los Angeles. And I'm a little nervous, to be honest, because last time I went to a game with my family, I took my mom went, my sister, my brother, the whole family. My girlfriend went to her first game. My mom went to her first game. So we got a big bus, going down. It was a huge party bus, everyone getting drunk, having fun. And then, of course, they got shellacked on Sunday Night Football to the Arizona Cardinals. They come back. It was just a sad, angry bus. My dad, like a drunk speak and spell, every 10 seconds, just rattling off some other weird line. He kept going to my mom. He kept going, Lisa, this loss hurts us all. It was the first game, her first game she ever saw, so he thought he'd lighten her load by going, don't blame yourself. I wasn't, Tom. I wasn't. Shut up. Everyone on the bus is telling you to shut up. And my dad's excuse was, he goes, what? What? I'm an annoying guy. You can't take me anywhere. I'm annoying. Who concedes to that? So football's back, and with football also comes gambling. And last football event I gambled on was the Super Bowl, and the Super Bowl was an awakening moment for me. Some would describe it as rock bottom, when I lost a tremendous amount on the Puppy Bowl. Now hear me out. I know what you're thinking. What kind of dipshit gambles on the Puppy Bowl? I'll tell you what kind of dipshit. A dipshit who got an anonymous tip from the internet that said the Puppy Bowl's already been taped and that Team Fluff is going to cover -3.5. Why they have a half-point spread in the Puppy Bowl, I have no idea. But I had an inside tip. And then, of course, Team Rough, the team I'm betting against, trots out a 3-legged puppy, and I instantly knew I was totally fucked because Animal Planet is not letting a 3-legged puppy lose at the Puppy Bowl. And I was right. And I was right. And I was getting super angry. I was yelling at the TV. And at one point, my girlfriend came out and was like, "What's going on? Why are you so angry at the puppies?" Because addiction is a disease, guys. And it is. It's a disease I've been fighting year after year, season after season. And for whatever case, I have a lot of triggers. The trigger is people asking me. I succumb to peer pressure constantly. And right now it's fantasy football drafting season. Everyone's hounding me, trying to get me into their league. It's getting out of hand. It's spiraling out of control. And finally, I said, you know what? Enough's enough. It's time to stand up for myself and tell my story. Take a look.
Hey, nice jeans, bruh.
Thanks, my mom got them for me.
Oh, word, you know the only thing that would make those look any better is if you was in my fantasy league, bro.
That's harassment, all right? You know I'm in a bunch of leagues. I don't have to take that.
It's not harassment if you need it. You only in 2 leagues, man. You was asking for this.
Just leave me alone.
Where's the fucking Stevie, you loser?
I'm not a loser, okay?
Yeah, you are. Because you haven't joined the fantasy league yet. We got 11 teams, we need one more guy. Come on.
Listen, all right? I'm already in a league, okay? I got a lot on my plate, and to be honest, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed.
Oh, overwhelmed? Yeah, I'm sure you are. You got a lot going on. Well, with the job, and you got your one fantasy league, and all those cocks.
I don't have to take this.
Fucking loser.
Hi, I'm former fantasy bullying victim and current fantasy bullying advocate Sean Green, and I'm here to tell you, you don't have to take it. You can stand up against fantasy bullying, and if you're worried about the pressure associated with that, feel free to call my hotline anytime, any place. I'm here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to help you stand up to fantasy bullying, okay? Fantasy bullying stops today, and it stops with me. Not one more league, not one more season. Fantasy bullying hotline, Sean here. How can I help you? A work league? Oh, that sounds like a lot of pressure. PPR? Full point or half? How many? What kind of flex spots are you looking at? Well, you know what? That's important. You're making healthy boundaries and, really standing up for yourself. That's very important. Not play fantasy at all? I mean, that's kind of crazy. All right, we're not supposed to do this, but me and a couple of the guys were thinking about getting together and putting a league together. A couple of guys at the hotline. It's not a big deal. It's gonna be like $20. Just come on, man. We got 11 guys. Hold up.
Welcome back to Sean's Sports Show, the only sports show whose host childhood dream was to be a backup tight end in the NFL. John, did you know that?
Why a backup tight end?
Well, and here's the logic, and maybe I was crazy, but when I was in 4th grade playing Pee Wee football, I was a backup tight end. So in my head, I was like, oh, Sean, you're a really great backup tight end.
That's your position.
One day, you could make it to the NFL to be a backup tight end. That's what you're really good at. I never did the math that to be a backup tight end, you also had to be like an amazing actual tight end.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Now, I don't want to get you excited, but what would happen if you did become a backup tight end and you were drafted by the Dallas Cowboys?
See, that would be a worst case. That would be a worst case scenario, or possibly best case scenario, because what better way, backup tight end, probably the long snapper, right? And I've thought about this. What better way to screw up a game than to just snap one over their head?
You would infiltrate.
I would.
Yeah,
I would.
you'd be
I would
the
infiltrate,
spy. You'd be a
and I
rogue.
would just take down the Dallas Cowboys. There's probably some nice people in Dallas who are watching the show, but really, just go fuck yourself. I don't want any part of you. You may be good people, but take your fan-loving Dallas Cowboys somewhere else. I have no room for Dallas Cowboys in my life.
Oh, okay.
That's my problem with fantasy football, is that inevitably I just end up drafting all Eagles guys, and then when they shit the bed, I'm stuck just reeling, picking up waiver wire losers, when in fact I should have just sucked it up and drafted Ezekiel Elliott.
I was just going to say, have you ever had a Dallas Cowboy in any
No,
fantasy
never had
team?
a Dallas Cowboy. I'm 5 to 6 leagues a year for the past 18 years, and I've never had a Dallas Cowboy on my team.
5 to 6 leagues a year. So this is
John, that was not a joke.
Job.
I got a lot on my plate.
Full-time job. Got it.
Full-time job. John, since the last time we were on the show, which has been forever, it's been a long off season.
Long.
A lot of things have happened in our personal lives, and I thought it would be a good time for us to catch up with the audience, highlight what we've been doing in the off season in a little segment we call Key Losses and Key Additions. First up, John, key addition. What do you got?
Key addition, I would say, I found a case of beer in Los Angeles.
Rare.
24-pack,
This is actually
guys.
from John's Instagram. All these photos.
This is in my dining room area, but I found a 24-pack of Miller High Life, and I had to buy it immediately. If you're not aware, if you live somewhere in the Midwest or the East Coast and you buy cases of beer on the regular, that's great. They don't sell them in L.A.
No.
Everything is an 18-pack, a 36-pack, a 30-pack, a 12-pack,
9-pack.
6-pack.
There's no regular cases.
Yeah, 8 packs. Like, there's no cases of beer. 24 cans in a case. It's a very distinct shape. I found it. I got excited.
You keep saying you found it as if you didn't buy it, John. I'm getting a little worried. Was this in a dumpster?
I guess I shouldn't lie. I'm not trying to lie to you like I would lie to my dad when I was 15. I found it in the woods. I found a whole case of beer in the woods. Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff you can find in the woods
cold.
when you're in high school.
No, yeah, I found it. I discovered it at a liquor store, and I immediately purchased it. So that was one of my main key additions.
Loss? What do you got?
Key loss, I would have to say the correct spelling of my name. I've
no.
just given up at this point.
John Huck sounds pretty cool.
My name is John, Jon, Huck, Huck, and I've had the first name gets an H put in there all the time, not a big deal. This was on a marquee at a comedy club I was the headliner at. This stayed up all week. They asked me, they were like, hey, do you want us to change it? And I'm like, what do you say here? Like, you shouldn't ask me that. You should just
look at you,
fix
the
it.
Hollywood diva.
Yeah, now I'm the
Once
dick.
his name's spelled correctly.
Yeah,
They're 0 for 2 to point out.
I just give up. I give up.
Does John Husk also take photos of cases of beer?
John Husk does the same things I do. He's just drunker.
Key addition, Carson Wentz fathead. There we go, Carson Wentz fathead. That's a
traditional Irish folk music over that.
That's me. I listen to Irish folk music and I look at screenshots of my own garage, John. Stay out of my life, man.
That is a big. This is a fat body, though. We go beyond the head at this point. Like
It's a wide frame. This is actual life size, or so I assume. Now, when I was placing, there was a huge to-do about installing the fat head because I'm very superstitious. I don't know why I have all these superstitions, like, I'm going to mess up their juju or their good luck. I have all these lucky superstitions. Meanwhile, my entire life, they've never won a goddamn Super Bowl.
Yes.
So I don't know what I'm jinxing, John.
Yeah.
But I was
maybe do the opposite and forget your superstitions.
See, right here, that brace. That wooden brace right there, that was causing me nightmares because I was like, oh my God, what if I lay the sticker wrong on his knee? If he tears his ACL, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take that inwards.
You were worried that this was like some sort of a voodoo fathead, and you were gonna put it up, and then bad things would happen to Carson Wentz.
Exactly.
Now, did anything?
I like to believe I have that sort of power.
Sure. Did anything bad happen to, say, like your personal life with like maybe your girlfriend who might live
Well,
there too.
you know what? And then that'll get up to my, that brings us to our key loss, my masculinity.
Ah.
As you can see, it's me enjoying Hamilton the musical. Because life's all about compromises, John. You get installed a fathead.
No, I think that's great.
I'm not going to throw away my shot to rave about what a good show that was. It's a good show.
I believe it. I believe it. We're there.
Especially when you're on edibles. Just the way the founding fathers would have liked
That's
it,
exactly
right?
what they wanted.
Tripping balls.
Hemp for everybody.
I learned a lot. Did you know that did you know George Washington, I had no idea, and maybe I went to public school. I had no idea he was a super smooth rapping black guy. I had no idea.
Oh, yeah,
No
yeah.
idea.
I think that's
I
in
thought he
history
was this
books.
wig guy who had wooden teeth. Completely wrong.
Is there any possibility of getting a Hamilton fathead at the house?
Don't get any ideas.
Okay.
I already have to deal with Beyonce stuff, calling my man cave a glam cave. John,
Yes.
listen.
Glam kid, maybe a RuPaul fathead.
John, what about you? What are you doing up to?
I would say key addition. I got married, so I have a wife. Thank you.
There you go. Was this at your wedding?
Yeah, we got married at a Cubs spring training game in Arizona. It was pretty fantastic.
Well, what did you wear to the wedding?
I actually wore this suit
To a wedding.
to my wedding.
There you go.
Yes.
Well, see, now I'm not crazy for guessing this might be at your wedding
No,
when you're
you're right.
rocking basically a Cubs uniform.
I'll say this. I'll say that I don't think when I ordered the suit that my wife thought it was this color. I think that she thought it was a different blue, and then when it showed up, she was like, "Ooh, that's real blue." And I'm like, "Yep." And I was like, I knew exactly what color this would be. So I was very happy.
All right,
Yeah.
John, key loss. What do you got?
Key loss, I would have to say brain cells.
Right? Explain what's going on here.
Oh, here we're at the Dead & Company show at Wrigley Field.
Yes.
This is night 2 of a 2-night extravaganza. And the guy over here in the glasses with the goatee, no names, but he took a fun trip. And we all had a good time, and I will say I probably walked away at least a few IQ points down.
There you go. But honestly, if the NFL has taught us anything, you don't need IQ points to have an amazing life playing in the National Football League.
Oh, you do not.
All right, key addition for me, John.
Yes,
I don't know
yes.
if you know this, but key addition, friendship with Rob Gronkowski.
Ooh.
I don't know why Gronk's doing the weird hover hand, but trust me, we're great friends.
It's like he doesn't want to touch you because he might break.
Everyone always asks, they're like, what's Gronk like in real life? Picture a yellow lab who's really good at catching footballs. He's just like the most friendly guy, just really happy. There was a great moment on set, though. We did a segment on the show called Chore Sports. It's clips of kids doing chores. It's for Nickelodeon, and they're kind of real athletic, so we call it Chore Sports. We get the prompter up, Gronk's reading it, and he's like, now coming up next, Chore Sports. Like, all right, Gronk, maybe there's a pronunciation. Just one more time. Try that again. He goes like, all right, got it, Chore Sports. Like, okay, maybe there's an audio issue on our end. Just one more time. Make sure you get that hard ch. And he goes, okay, got it, Chore Sports. And then the co-host finally goes, Rob, you know what chores are, right? It's called chores, like stuff you would do around the house, cleaning up your room, mowing the lawn. And he looks at him and he goes, oh, I never did any chores. I was too busy scoring touchdowns. It's like, is that not the greatest excuse of all time?
I don't know the word because I never did any.
Exactly. Another key loss for me was all my money. If you can see here, this is a screenshot of me. I thought I would save it for, I don't know who I was going to show it to, but I took a screenshot of Team Ruff laying -3.5. Again, there were no field goals in the game. And the scoring of the Puppy Bowl, I mean, I get it, it's a joke thing, but people have money on this. Don't turn it into a complete sham. Like, if you say a field goal is when the puppy drags the flag across the 20-yard line, enforce the rules, for Christ's sake.
Is that, you were finding that there just was chaos?
It was mayhem. It was almost like they were just letting the puppies do whatever they want, willy-nilly.
It was almost as if it wasn't
Some
really
kind
a
of joke.
competition. It was just some sort of cute thing they were showing in place of the Super Bowl. That's crazy.
John, there's actually, I don't know how this escaped me, how I didn't bring it up earlier. I didn't mention it at all, but while we were off, I actually wrote a biography about my own life story. I sold the life rights to a movie company, and I actually starred in the movie It's gonna be big.
You forgot to tell me this, man.
Yeah, I don't know how I completely forgot the most successful thing that's ever happened to me. It completely skipped my mind, but it's definitely a key addition to my life. It is the feature film. I actually star and play myself, my 12-year-old self. Oh. You guys are gonna enjoy this. This is Memoirs of a Right Fielder. Take a look. Man, a 12-year-old, I sure got a lot of back problems. Better get a good stretching. Ooh, yeah.
I really need to get a cell phone so I can play Snake.
It's not as fun when you flick your own ears. Yep. Still tastes like my glove. It's pretty awesome that I'm only 12 years old and I already got a beard. And pubes. Sweet.
I wonder if they give out scholarships for Pogs.
I know one thing for sure. The Butthole Surfers are going to be the greatest band of all time.
It's crazy that I'm the one who discovered jerking off.
I got a sweet 3-point stance. Sit. Hit!
Carson Daly? That guy's got it all figured out.
Wonder if I remembered my cup. Yep, it's there. Something doesn't feel right, though. That's a cup. Give the fans what they want, Sean. Give them what they came to see. The old tip of the cap. You're welcome, guys. Thanks for coming out. Nah, you guys, you shouldn't have, but really, thanks for supporting me. Baseball, what a sport. The only one where you get to chew tobacco.
That'll be awesome when I'm 21 and I can buy beer for myself. Then I won't have any problems. My body may go on, but my heart will always be in right field.
Welcome back to Sean's Sports Show, the only sports show whose host has been physically threatened by a bookie. True story. That Puppy Bowl cash is, hey, it'll get there one way or the other, all right? Relax. John, speaking of gambling, our next guest is a lead pipe lock when it comes to talk show guests. Please give it up for Aaron Lennox, everyone!
Hi, hello. How are you guys? What an honor.
Welcome to the show.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you.
I've warmed it up for you with my hot
It is
buns.
hot.
And I mean sweaty.
Aaron, thanks so much for being on the show.
I didn't have a choice. It's court ordered.
I know you went to UNC, huge Tar Heel fan.
That's right. As we all should be, if
yes,
we're not
exactly.
evil people. Like this suit.
Does that?
This is a Duke blue suit.
Again,
I know that
it's supposed to be Cubs blue. I didn't go to Duke. I have no affiliation with Duke.
the Duke lacrosse scandal.
Oh, cool.
Duke has got to be stoked that that's their legacy. Anytime dark blue happens, they're like, oh yeah, the lacrosse guys who everyone thought raped but didn't rape, but probably will rape at some point in their
I mean,
life.
definitely after that they did.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
That's for sure.
They have a school built for raping. Aaron, it's a lot of fun having you on the show. We got a big game coming up in a little bit, but I'm feeling the energy is a little bit low. I think we could use a pep talk. Please bring out from the swamps of the Meadowlands, Coach T. Coach T, come on out.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's bring it up. Bring it up. Good job with this song. Thank you. Let's go. Let's bring it up. Let's go. Let's bring it home. We've had a hell of a show so far. Just because you're riding your bike downhill doesn't mean you stop pedaling. Pedal downhill. Don't you give up on me, and don't you give up on yourselves. Now, there's a lot of expectations in this town. A lot of expectations on my boys here. I expect for you to come out here and execute the bits. I expect for you to hit the setups, follow through with the punchlines. I expect for you to not take this crowd lightly, because I promise you, this crowd's gonna give you everything that they got. Now from you, I'm gonna need not 100%. I'm not gonna need 110%. I'm gonna need 200%, because that's what champions give. If you can give me if you can give me 200%,
That's
for the
impossible,
next 5
Coach.
to 10 minutes of this show, I promise you, it'll be 5 to 10 minutes that you will take with you for the rest of your lives. Clear eyes, full hearts. Can't lose, guys. I'm gonna need you to join in. I said clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. Now let's take it home, boys. Let's take this home. Let's get this W.
One more time for Coach T.
I'm motivated now.
I'm ready to go, guys. Buckle up your chin straps. It's time for the big game. Tonight's big game is the parolee pop quiz. Okay, guys? I name a crime an NFL player committed, and you have to guess the interesting fact associated with it. We ready to go?
Is it brain injuries?
Well, perhaps there might be a brain injury tie-in. We'll see.
1 point. Sorry.
All right. First question. John, you're playing for your job.
Okay.
Aaron, you're playing for John's job. Okay.
Awesome.
Sean Smith, cornerback for the Oakland Raiders, is facing 2 felony charges for attacking his sister's boyfriend in Old Town Pasadena. What Old Town Pasadena landmark did this happen near? Is it A, the Cheesecake Factory, B, the Chase Bank, or C, Hot 8 Yoga, D, the Chateau Tea Room, or E, Hot Yoga Pasadena? John, you're on the clock. Where did this happen?
I'm going to say the Chateau Tea Room.
Good place to commit some felonies.
Yeah, you want to get
Aaron,
violent. Tea.
I'm going to say hot yoga because it feels like that's a blanket answer that could.
that does encompass
all
the majority
Pasadena.
of the
Yeah,
Pasadena
most of
area.
It's all hot yoga.
You guys are both wrong. It happened near the Chase Bank.
Very famous Chase Bank.
I guess you guys don't need to applaud for Chase Bank or the felony, but it felt like the time to applaud there. All right.
Wow, assaulting a boyfriend of your sister is a felony. Didn't know that.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, maybe it was a heroic act. I don't know. All I know is he got charged for a couple of felonies, and the Raiders' pass defense is going to have a couple holes this season. Speaking of cornerbacks, the Denver Broncos cornerback Aqib Talib admitted through his attorney that he did, in fact, shoot himself in a nightclub incident last summer. When initially asked by reporters if he shot himself, Talib responded by saying what? Is it A, mistakes happen, I'm a human being after all? B, I'm aware of the incident and gathering more information. C, that situation is still under review and we have to respect the process. D, it was a hectic evening and honestly I can't recall. Or E, private matters stay in the clubhouse. Aaron, you go first.
E, D, B.
Okay, you got 3 answers. Can I lock you down to 1?
I want to go with the one that has the worst grammatical.
Some of these were written by me, so actually they were all written by me except one. So
I'm gonna go with E for Aaron.
okay, I like it. Gotta go Vals. John.
I'm going to go with the one where he's talking about how he's still gathering information on the...
I hope it's that one.
You guys are both wrong once again. Impressive. It is C. That situation is still under review, and we have to respect the process. The process of whether or not he found out if he shot himself.
What's he reviewing? His body cam?
Hey, listen. There's a lot to go over. He's going to break down the game film. He doesn't want to jump to some radical conclusion like, yes, I did shoot myself. Last question, guys, for all the marbles.
All right.
Bills defensive tackle Adolphus Washington was arrested on misdemeanor weapons charges for allegedly brandishing a handgun at what establishment? This took place in Cincinnati. Was it A?
Applebee's.
Don't jump the gun, Aaron.
Sorry.
Was it A, the Cincinnati History Museum? B, Laser Web, the #1 laser tag center in Cincinnati? C, Splash Cincinnati Water Park?
Ooh.
D, the Cincinnati Botanical Garden? Or E, Skyline Chili? John?
Wow.
What do you got?
I'm going with Water Park.
I want it to be B.
You want it to be big.
I want him to have a handgun and a laser tag.
That
and
is, the
accident.
idea is terrifying. Of like, oh, you're gonna hit me with the fake gun? Let's go out to my car.
Yeah, if you get mad, you're losing. You bring out the real gun.
You're tagged out for good. Is that your final answer?
It feels like no, it shouldn't be.
Um,
I'm gonna go with, what was the last one?
East Skyline Chili?
Yep.
You are wrong. You are correct, John.
No, you keep your job.
Splash Cincinnati, the water park.
Bringing a gun to a water park.
Sure.
I just love.
Where do you put that?
Well,
yeah, exactly.
We don't
Is
know
there-
where you put it.
Is there an open carry law at water parks that I'm unaware of?
He's got a holster in his bathing suit.
You
He's
can
like,
only put it where your penis goes. That's the only place.
put it in the back.
Okay.
Sure, fair.
Maybe penises go back there too. I don't know.
Tucked his penis behind his back for a.
Touch his penis and put his gun in his holster.
I gotta tuck my wiener so my gun rests firmly in the
Also,
crease.
who is messing with Adolphus Washington, a 300-pound defensive tackle at a water park? Like, no, that's my tube, man. I'll see you in the parking lot. What maniac? I mean, I'm siding with Adolphus here. Like, if he has to grab his handgun, you probably deserved it.
We also don't know that he had to. I mean, you just said he's a 300-pound man. He could have probably just handled it, but
Exactly.
jumped the gun. And
How did they find out? Like, how did
He's
he
wearing a
get
bathing
busted?
suit with a gun.
It's unclear. I didn't read on that much into the story. I just saw
Headline, and I moved on.
I just saw an NFL player brandish his handgun at water park, and I thought I can use this to my own game. All right, guys, wrapping up the show. Give it up for John,
I won.
the winner. He now has his job. Shout out to Coach T. Thank you for coming on. Special thanks to Aaron Lennox.
Thank you.
But before we go, guys, I'd like to close things out, like I always do, with a haiku. Who's ready for a closing haiku?
Yeah! Poetry!
Football is now here. Eagles will soar. I drink beer. Finally, fuck Dallas. All right, guys, that's it for the show. Check out SeanSportsShow.com. Thank you for watching.